Also, junk items are set to nothing items, which are glitched suit models. And so you'll be seeing those. But anyway, we're off. By the way, let me know if chat can hear me. Okay, we started in the Artifact Temple with Morph Ball. We'll immediately get our hints. Now, I'm not sure if they started... They had to have started with a missile. Or else they wouldn't be able to get out. Yeah, they had 5 missiles. So I didn't catch what all the starting items were, but we know they have missiles. And we're getting artifact checks. Hall of the Elders, Elite Research, Biohazard Containment, Ruined Courtyard, Hive Totem, Main Plaza. Okay, that's not bad. Now, depending on where the elevators go, could be tricky to get to. Also, shout out to Fusion Suit. Now they're going to be making their way over to Alcove to do Space Jump first. Even though they started elsewhere, it's still worth it to check. Could be anything. Gunner getting it first try. And we have... I couldn't tell what that was. Oh, ice, Wave Buster. And we have Thermal behind the ship. So that's not going to do anything for us yet. Could put something into logic later, like Frigate or Thardis, maybe. So I didn't catch what that was at crash site. Get another look at it. That's a missile. Okay, not worth it. By the way, chat, can you hear me? The audio level's good? Okay, good. So, now, okay, Gunnard's checking Talon Canyon elevator. Caesar might check Root Cave elevator. Okay, that was monitor station. Can't go there yet, so we have to go down to Root Cave elevator. I'm guessing that's probably going to be Chozo. Either Main Plaza or Sun Tower. Nice stash by Gunner. And under here we have Varia. Okay, this could be Magmar, actually. Workstation. Interesting. Without Space Jump, it's kind of a point of no return. And they don't have waves, so they can't get the workstation item. It's not worth it yet. They don't even have bomb. Yeah, they have bombs, but I don't think double bomb jumps to get to the wave door are in logic, even if they did have wave. And they would need wave to get any further in Magmar. So I think they have to go to Talon Canyon elevator. Excuse me for a second. Sorry. Yeah, that eye tracker, yeah, it's tracking where Caesar is looking on his screen. Not sure how he set that up, but I just saw that in one of his streams recently. It's interesting. I'll have to ask about that. Ice Beam and Transport Tunnel A. So I'm not sure what that tells us yet, but it could lead to, I don't know, somewhere that requires ice to get into. Or it could be part of the puzzle to have to go back to Workstation. Okay, just a miss on Warrior Shrine. Might have been a missile at Short Tunnel. Couldn't quite tell. Oh wow, nice bomb jumps by Caesar. Should also mention Caesar is very talented with his trick knowledge and movement. You'll be seeing a lot of good stuff from him. Stuff you never knew you could do before. Okay, so we have, I didn't catch that. Triclops Pit, we have an E-Tank. Huh. So you can get that without space jump. I mean, I knew you could, but I didn't know you could do it with a dash like that. So, on Gunert's side, we are at, I guess we came into the back end through the ice store. And this elevator is, I didn't catch that. Oh, and space jump at Storage Cavern. So this does give Caesar an advantage over Gunert. So I think Gunert went, I'm not sure which way he went. But yeah, going towards Triclops Pit was a good one. Oh, and Gunnert's resetting, so maybe they will come the same way. At least they hopefully will. Twin Fires elevator, that's right. Thank you. And at Lava Lake, we have missiles. Yes, every elevator in theory is randomized, except the ones that just so happen to be randomized to their normal locations, which can happen sometimes. But I haven't noticed any of those in this seed yet. So it looks like Gunner might be heading in the same direction as Caesar. This leads to crash site. He has ice, might as well check the item. Oh, okay. Gollop says the warp to impact crater is technically an elevator. It's not randomized. That is true. The elevators in Phazon Mines should be randomized. Unless you mean the ones within, the ones that take you to like a lower level, then no, those aren't. Nice dash across the water. And Gunner gets their space jump. And by the way, I missed what was in Overgrown Cavern. Right, the ones within aren't randomized. Did anyone in chat catch what was in Overgrown Cavern? I looked away. Looked like Caesar was attempting to do a dash here. And misses it, unfortunately. But he's trying again. And he makes it second try. Very nice. Oh! Oh. That's unfortunate, but now he's trying an R jump, which can also get you up there with some standable terrain. It was that one little branch that was sticking out. Both can be finicky to do. But he makes it again. And yes, it does appear Gunner is headed the same direction. Let's get another look at Overgrown Cavern. Oh, boost ball. Okay, nice. Missile. And Caesar is going to do some out of bounds to get the Arbor Chamber item. Basically just jump up to the top of the room, fall through a hole, and get the item, shoot the door from the other side, which is a blue door on the other side. That skips needing plasma. Looks like Gunner is about to attempt the same thing. Unfortunately, we'll be disappointed with just 2 missiles. Or 10 missiles, rather. Oh, Caesar's going back. Must have changed his mind about where he wants to go. So, hasn't been much of a route divergence so far. Let's see if they do any. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, you're probably not going to see much of a route divergence until they get a certain item that opens up more of whichever area it corresponds to. Like, say, Plasma opening up checks in early Phendrana, or Ice opening up some Mines checks, and or Spider. Oh, that looks like Spider in Short Tunnel. Fortunately, they don't have power bombs to get that yet. So that's probably the main thing we're looking for right now. Appears gunert might be... Okay, gunert's valid. And it might clear out Chozo. Yeah, they're both doing Chozo from the same side. Okay. And they're both valid. Oh, so we might get a route divergence. Okay, just an elevator check. Fair enough. It's not much in logic. Far from Drunny yet. It's about Spider or Wave. I mean, all you can do is really check the plasma locked item and transport access, I think. And we have our first artifact for Gunner. Both of them, actually. And Gunner taking a little shortcut in the tunnel, which is actually slower, I've been told, because it adds more loading time to the door. Either way, nothing important in Crossway. And in Upper Furnace we have... I couldn't tell. Probably not important though. Even if it is, the only way to get it without Spider is very tricky bomb jump and climbing some standable terrain. Okay, and Caesar is going back. Oh, I'm going through that door instead. That's... I'm surprised. If he had went through the crossway door, the ghosts wouldn't spawn in this room. But they do when you go through the Hall of the Elders door. Not sure why, but that's how it goes. Meanwhile, Gunert is fighting Zoid. Behind him we have the E-Tank. I'm sure Gunnert's pretty happy to find one of those, finally. I don't know. I didn't get a good look at it. If it is anything important, then I'm pretty sure they'll come back for it. Gunner getting an okay Zoid. Music started to loop a bit. Okay, just missiles and an E-Tank. He still has an E-Tank for Gunner. Three out of 4 races on Zoid currently, really. Interesting coincidence. By the way, we also, for those who don't know, we also have another match going on which started at the same time, Grappling Gathering Hall. Yeah, another match is going on right now as we speak between Migs and I forget who else. You can actually even multi-twitch both of these matches if you want to, or if your computer can handle it. Otherwise, you could just catch the vibes of either one. But Gunnert's really wishing they had Spider right now. But still no power bombs. We'll have to go all the way back to the shore tunnel for that. I do believe Flagra is enabled in even weekly settings, so if they check Sun Chamber, they're probably going to hold off on that until they get Spiders so they can check both Flagra and the Ghosts without needing supers to check Ghosts. Unfortunately, oh, is that? That's a suit. No Spider yet, so we can't skip Flagra to get it. And unfortunately, you can't scan that item from outside of the grating. I couldn't tell it was on grapple ledge. Must not have been important. We have Wave Beam and Ruined Shrine. I couldn't tell what room that was because it was so dark. Should also be getting a Tower of Light check shortly. And we have main power bomb, so now they have access to Spider Ball. Although it's a bit of a walk to get back to it. And Gunner checking the item, the top item with the cutscene, which is faster if the item is nothing. And it is nothing, so yeah, we're done with that part. Speaking of nothing, I haven't seen any nothing items yet. Wonder if we'll see one. Okay, just a missile. That's a nice little peek. Surprise he didn't jump all the way in there, because usually the game elevates you anyway, even if you just take one jump. As you were able to peek that like that. Okay, so they both take a note of the suit in that room. So Caesar will soon find power bombs, and they'll both know to go back there to Shore Tunnel and get their Spider Ball. Toby's eye tracker. Okay. I'll have to ask Caesar how that works. Unless anyone in chat can explain it, because I have no idea. Caesar getting Wave Beam. Triggering the beetle fight by accident. But we can skip it all. Oh, and I forgot there was an artifact in this room. Hive Totem. And now we're seeing Caesar doing the alternate way to check this item, which is to scan dash all the way up there without checking the cutscene, which is faster to get, because if you trigger the cutscene, you would have to shoot missiles at all the subsequent rows of blocks to shoot down. So it's faster to go up and get the item that way, but if the item was nothing worth getting, then just using the cutscene and leaving right away is faster. It's a camera that uses software to track what your eyes are looking at. It's mounted above your monitor. Huh. Interesting. Didn't know software could do that. I mean, it's 2020, granted, but I'm not tech savvy enough to know that. careful, we have an E-tank. A missile. And in training chamber, we have a missile. So I'd say the best course of action right now is to go back and get Spider Ball so they can check Sun Chamber, because I believe there was an artifact there, unless I'm getting my seeds mixed up. You can do frigate backwards without gravity, but it's very tough. Very yeah, it takes a lot of practice, and yeah. And I've heard you can also do it gravity-less forwards, but I've never seen that, so I don't know how it's done. But backwards, it's a lot of tricks involved, advanced tricks. And I think you would need boost ball, if I'm not mistaken, at least, to get through Hydro Access Tunnel. Forward involves boosting up the slopes in freight lift. Okay, that makes sense. That never even occurred to me, actually. Also, by the way, shout out to our trackers, Gollop and Kirichi, aka Rios, I believe. They're making my job right now much easier, because commentating and tracking at the same time is it's very challenging. Let's see, life growth tunnel. We have Caesar getting life growth tunneled. For some reason, the collision in this room can, like, eat your momentum sometimes. And I'm not sure anyone knows why for sure, because looking at some kind of Prime World Editor or something like that, they didn't find anything special about that half pipe that would do that. It just does for some reason. Although, don't quote me on any of that. I could be misremembering what I heard. And he finally makes it. Just a missile. Another missile. And there's another, okay, Gunner gets their Spider Ball, Caesar gets another Power Bomb expansion. I'm pretty sure this is yet another reminder to get back to Shore Tunnel, because I'm guessing Spider Ball is probably locking a lot of progress at the moment. Or at least something important that could, you know, get them access to somewhere. Or put somewhere in logic, rather. Caesar going for bar skip, getting it second try. Very nicely done. At least I believe that was second try. It's going back, and he probably meant to open the bars. Or not. It's already down there. Might as well keep going. I missed what that was, what that elevator was. Oh. Okay, just going back. Okay, so Gunner didn't get that item up top in the furnace, so it must not have been anything important. Unless they just forgot about it. Not going for upper furnace either. I mean, upper dynamo, excuse me. Oh well, maybe they have a specific route in mind. Caesar getting his third artifact. And Gunner skipping Flagra to get the Ruined Fountain item. That's the room. Nicely done. And that's gravity, okay. Yeah, normally you would have to kill Flagra and come back to use the water geyser in the middle of the room to propel yourself up to the spider track. And the water would be clear at that point, so it wouldn't damage you. Because Flagra poisons the water. Okay, nothing involved. Caesar still can't get that without Spider. Might be headed back to shore tunnel now. Oh no, he's doing the Flagra play. Now, if I'm right about an artifact being there, hopefully it's not the ghost item. And if it is, then maybe Caesar can do the infinite bomb jump to get back up without Spider. Gunert also checking Life Grove, only to be disappointed with items they don't need. Although having much better luck with Life Grove Tunnel. I didn't know you could just walk in that morph ball hole. doesn't look like it. And what Caesar is doing is using scan dashes to skip needing to shoot down the mirrors, although he did shoot one anyway. But yeah. Skip's having to do a bunch of other things the intended way. You can just damage Flagra by landing right near the bomb slots, which are actually just damage triggers that take bomb damage. You can also do this without space jump too, but it's a little trickier. Or a little scarier, rather. And Flagra's down. It's a well-executed fight. Let's see if we can get a peek at the item. I couldn't tell. Doesn't look like Caesar looked in that direction either. Oh, just a missile. That's too bad. Gunner finds their 4th artifact. That's 2 more to go. And Caesar is going for the infinite bomb jump. That's an any percent trick that people do to get the artifact of wild early, which is normally there. But it's helpful in Rando if you don't have Spider and you still want to get up here without needing Spider and supers. And he gets it. Very well done. Making quick work of these ghosts with 1 super and 1 charge shot each. Otherwise it would take 5 charge shots, I believe. And without X-ray to track their movements, they can phase in and out of visibility, which can extend the fight a bit. Unfortunately, Sun Chamber was worthless, so I guess I was getting my seeds mixed up about something being here. Okay. As far as artifacts, according to Chet, they've got Elite Research, Ruined Courtyard, and Biohazard Containment left. So, yeah, that's on Caesar's side, and Gunert has Elite Research and Ruined Courtyard, I believe. They'll also need to look for Phazon Suit and Plasma, since they are doing Impact Crater, as far as I know. So the search for those two items can be interesting. We'll see how that goes. Caesar is using some sort of eye tracker that tracks where his eyes are looking on screen. And I believe somebody in chat has been explaining it. Some sort of software. So Gunert is heading up towards Vent Shaft. Probably going to save Elite Research for later, until they can hopefully find Plasma or Phazon down here. Although lower mines without X-rays, kind of risky in the sense that if they can't fight OP, then they would have to backtrack a long way. And if Gunner finds Plasma before Metroid Quarantine A, then that could lead him even further into lower mines to get Phazon. Okay, Caesar finally getting his Spider Ball. Probably gonna head towards wait, what was that other artifact? I don't know. Wherever Spider Ball leads him. Okay, this maze is okay, this is getting bad. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, well, okay, could have been worse. Yeah, I think those mazes can be anywhere between, I don't actually know the numbers. But it's a random number of squares that you have to go through to get through to the item, and it's all completely random. Even for both players on the same seed. Caesar double checking his artifacts to see where he needs to go. Now, since Gunner does not have X-ray, you might see some pretty cool dashes to get across here. So normally would need X-ray to see the platforms, the invisible platforms, but okay, it's like Gunert changed their mind. Maybe they peeked the item up there, but I didn't see what it was if they did. Pulling off a nice AI manipulation to the Elite Pirate, which works on all, like the Phazon Elite Pirate and Omega Pirate. You basically stay out of their field of vision and circle around them while rapid firing missiles, because they will try to turn and face you before they attack you. And if you can shoot enough missiles, you can kill them before they face you. Looks like Gunert is trying to jump around a trigger and pulls it off. He would have had to fight. They would have had to fight another Elite Pirate otherwise. Oh, and we have Phazon. Okay, that's one piece of the Go Mode puzzle. Now they just need Phazon, Plasma, to gain access to Impact Crater. Okay, Gunert is probably doing this puzzle from the top to skip. Well, Gunert doesn't have grapple, so the jump to get up there without grapple is very precise. Oh, he does. Never mind. They do have grapple. Maybe they forgot. I wasn't even looking at the tracker. Never mind then. They might still be doing the puzzle to not have to use the standable terrain climb to get back up, because they may not know that trick. Because most runners, they climb this room with standable terrain instead of the intended way. It's faster, but not everyone has practiced that. So, I mean, it's understandable. It's better to do it the intended way once than to mess up the shortcut a bunch of times and lose more time that way. My next match has not been scheduled yet. We have to wait for this round to end, which I believe ends at the end of the week. And I believe there's one more round after this, although I could be wrong. One more round of Swiss. And then after that, there's the top 8. Other rounds after that. So Gunert gets their Elite Research Artifact, and I believe they have one more in I forget the room. Caesar is headed into Frigate to get his fourth artifact. Most likely headed in the same direction as Gunert. The reason this room, Elite Research, is dark is because I believe 2 layers are loaded at the same time. It's normally, at least most of the time that I'm in this room, the lights are on. This dark layer only happens after you do some subsequent event in the game. Not sure what triggers it. And yes, we are using version 2.5, which not only fixes the logic bug of 2.4 that caused a lot of front-loaded Cs, but it also adds starting item prompts at the beginning of the game, changes the logic a bit to add some new tricks, and reverse upper mines is also doable now. So if you do it in reverse, the main quarry force field is already let down when you go through that way. There might be some other changes that I'm forgetting at the moment. Oh, oops. Oh, maybe that was on purpose. Okay. Thought Gunner fell by accident. And Gunner is headed back in that direction, so we might actually get to see reverse upper mines. Gunner pulling off the AI manipulation. Phase on Elite Pirate takes a few more missiles than the other ones. He's also getting bullied by Shadow Pirates in the cutscene and in the dark. You can see them with thermal visor though. Gunner ain't got time for that. Gotta go fast. Okay, so I was wrong. They're not doing reverse elements. Oh well. Maybe that's what they were doing. Nice slope jump, the skip beating spider, and we have plasma. So that's go mode for Gunner. All they have to do now is get their final artifact, and they'll be done. Well, I don't remember what the last artifact was. Yes, Golub, unfortunately, it seems Caesar has too much to do to catch up at this point. Fortunately for Gunner, this will, unless something goes really wrong at the end and Caesar catches up, this will put Gunner closer to possibly making it into the top 8. I don't know how many, I don't know what your win to loss ratio has to be to get in, but the more wins the better, I suppose. Okay, Ruined Courtyard, that's where it was. So now all Gunnar has to do is make their way back to Ridley. Artifact Temple. Now, the quickest way to get there, I'm not too sure. But we'll figure it out. Nice stash. It's like they tried to dash off of that scan point. Missed it. It happens. You're hoping for a Thardus fight, huh? Well, it's unfortunate we didn't get to see it because that would have been pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's in a icy area. You know, anyway. Back to Talon Overworld. Could be a long walk. Does gunert have main PBs? I believe so. I think they don't. Both do. Yeah, they both do. Yeah, that might be. Does anyone remember where the quarantine cave elevator led to? I forgot. Because if it was a shortcut, then yeah, Thardus might have been faster. Especially with main power bombs and plasma. Although, Chad also makes a good point. They probably aren't used to having plasma and power bombs over there, so they may not have thought of it. Okay, Caesar finds his Phazon, and plasma is close by. Letting off a rage power bomb. Oh, maybe not a rage power bomb. Might have been farming those boxes. I thought it was a rage power bomb because it took so long to find it. Either way, he has it. Got knocked down by that Metroid. Looks like he wants to go down anyway. Wonder if Caesar will do reverse upper mines. What Caesar's doing right now is an infinite boost to boost enough times to build up enough speed that the game will just suddenly release the combined speed of all those boosts and shoot you through the wall, which is invisible from that side. Normally you would need to use a spinner and a laser to shoot the walls open. Also getting a nice cutscene overlap. Okay, so Ridley. First phase, you shoot him with charged plasma about 4 or 5 times. Then he starts flying around. While he's flying around, you can do a flyby skip by boosting as he flies by. If that makes sense. Or you can wait for him to land and boost into his chest, which will immediately put him in his final phase because Boost Ball does 50,000 damage per frame, and they forgot to make Ridley immune to it. It would kill him if his damage wasn't capped, so it just puts him in his final phase. Now we're gonna see gunert snipe Ridley before he dashes at you, shooting him in the mouth, and rapid-firing missiles after each stun, take him out. And missing those snipes can result in that. And it's not as easy to snipe, like, sniping is not as easy as it looks because in this version, Ridley's hand blocks his mouth, so you have to aim a little bit more to the side than it looks like you should to actually hit his mouth. But nevertheless, Ridley is down, and now we're headed into Impact Crater to fight Metroid Prime. Yes, unfortunately, we have not seen X-Ray, which would have made the Essence fight a bit easier. But at least we do have one visor, so it's better than no visors. And I'll explain that once we get to Essence. Looks like Gunert is climbing this from the intended way. There's a faster way you can do it by using some standable terrain and slope jumps. But not every runner knows that trick. Although that was a nice little slope jump to reach the platform up there. So now we are fighting Metroid Prime's exoskeleton. There's 4 phases to this fight. The first phase, you have to shoot it with whatever color beam that it displays. First subchamber displays power beam and wave beam. The second one adds ice beam. The third one adds plasma beam. And the fourth subchamber, the attacks are random. And the speed of Exo's movement is also kind of random. In other words, Exo can speed up for some reason. Do all kinds of attack combos, throw you off again. But Gunert has super missiles, wave buster, and flamethrower, all beam combos which can increase the damage. Although supers are probably the most efficient to use because, I mean, wave buster is, you know, it packs kind of a punch, but it's very expensive with missiles. So, probably not the best idea with only 77 missiles. And flamethrower is also expensive, and it sucks. But at least Gunert is good with his, with their ice shots without needing ice spreader. Super missiles and ice spreader are probably the best 2 beam combos to use on Exo, at least in my humble opinion. Caesar's headed to Ruined Courtyard to get his final artifact and also make his way to Ridley. I'm gonna guess Caesar maybe finishes Ridley by the time Gunert finishes Essence, but I could be wrong. We'll see. let's go mode for Caesar. Meanwhile, Gunner is now on subchamber 3, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong in chat. Does Fusion Suit have a spider bow model? I'm not sure. I haven't paid close enough attention. The routing difference that got Gunner ahead, I'm actually not sure. It's kind of a blur right now. I just know that there was a route divergence at some point, and one of them got Spider earlier than the other did. And I think Spider was one of the main items that determined who might win this, because it opened up mines, which had a couple of artifacts, as well as plasma. Or did it? Yeah, it had plasma and phazon. And logically, Spider Ball is needed for the way that they got in, which was through the back, I believe. Otherwise, they would have had to do spiderless shafts to get through, which I know Caesar knows, but I don't know if Gunner knows. Anyway, yeah, now we're on Essence, so normally if you have both thermal and X-ray visor, you would just switch visors with whatever phase that Essence enters. But when you're missing a visor, first one of which is X-ray, you will have to track EXO with your scan visor, or else it's invisible. So track its movements that way. Hopefully you can find it, land a good shot on it, or do your attack cancels. But it's tricky to keep track of it while it moves around, so it can elongate the fight a bit, or lengthen the fight, excuse me. Since he has thermal, he'll much more easily be able to do attack cancels and pull cancels. Essence being annoying as usual and being right on top of the pool. So, okay, never mind. Gunner is just unloading. They might not know about the attack cancel and pull cancel methods, so we're just fighting it the intended way by unloading the phazon beam when it's vulnerable, when it plays it full. Otherwise, runners would do attack cancels, which is shooting Essence at a rhythm to cancel its scripted attacks and movements, making it lay a pool faster. And pool canceling is stepping in and out of the pool as you shoot it to maximize the damage even more, and hopefully kill off Essence faster. I'm not sure why Caesar is checking labs. He might just be looking for a way back to Talon. Although I guess fighting Tharus might have been faster. Not sure what else he thinks he needs, unless he's just trying to find his way back. That's a Chozo elevator. Probably the save station side of reflecting pool. And yes, gunert is holding their own very well, despite missing a visor. Okay, should be one more cycle. Doesn't look like gunert knows the manipulation of just standing still either, but either way, they're almost done. And gunert's done, finishing with an official time of 1:23:31. Get your GGs in chat for gunert, and Caesar has forfeited.
Greetings.
How you doing, Caesar?
Doing all right. As soon as I found plasma beam in that location, I knew I lost.
Yes. Basically, I think from what I remember, Spider was the main item that would have determined who won. That's because it opened up mines from the way you guys got in. So,
holy crap, my nerves are on fire right now.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
GG's, Caesar.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I got pull skipped immediately, and I didn't have X-ray visor, so I was super worried that you were like 2 steps behind me.
Nah, I just took the wrong. I took a 50-50 routing decision and went the wrong way. So I didn't get plasma for a very long time.
Yeah, plasma was actually.
When you finished, I was just about. I was around a minute from ship save when you ended.
Yeah, and gunert, you got Spider Ball a lot earlier than Caesar did.
Oh dang!
I think it was probably because of the route divergence, although my memory's a bit hazy at the moment.
Yeah,
did he find main power bombs first or a power bomb expansion?
I got main power bombs and then immediately backtracked for Spider to get gravity.
Yeah, when I also made the mistake of fighting Flogger because it was completely in logic and it made sense given the placement of everything, but just didn't play out.
Yeah, dude, I got destroyed by mines. I went to check MQA just in case because I was on phase-on plasma mode at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I destroyed there, and then I ran out of power bomb drops, and then had to backtrack a couple of times to fight the pirate and elite research. So I was super worried that you were like running straight up into my face because of all that.
Yeah, I think Caesar was, like, for the most part, it seemed like Caesar was probably minutes behind, because for the most part, you followed similar routes, except what gunert went back to get Spider much earlier than Caesar did, I believe.
I mean, I went back to get Spider about as soon as I could make it route in decently, which was pretty quickly afterwards, but I wanted to check things on the way because I had no idea where Plasma or whatchamacallit, Phazon were.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think you were both in different places, or sort of different places around that time.
Yeah, I had a feeling that Spider would be important because it was in such an awkward spot with how the elevators turned out. That's why I went back for it immediately, because I knew that it was unlikely I was going to find a better situation. Especially since I had checked what both the front Chozo elevators were, and I knew they weren't going to be anything of immediate use. So.
Yeah, I used them to I looped around them, and then I had to go in there again for when I went and got the artifact in the frigate.
Yeah, see, what I did was I went to Front Chozo, got my wave beam, got my main power bomb, checked, saw that I was on Great Tree Hall for both the elevators, beelined back to get Spider Ball, got gravity, went through frigate, grabbed my artifact, and then routed from there.
Yeah. Just a few routing mistakes was enough to really put me behind.
Yeah. These
Though
elevators
really
are super
routing with those
awkward, though.
elevators were terrible because there was just so many spots where you had to backtrack through like 2 or more elevators just to go get your next piece of progression that you saw earlier.
Yeah. This was definitely not a very nice elevator setup, to be sure.
Also,
Honestly, I just got lucky more than anything with how it worked out.
yeah. Also wanted to mention that chat was wondering about your little eye tracker, Caesar.
Yeah.
What's that
What about it? Just so that people are able to see what I'm actually paying attention to during the game, as well as like some tricks. There are visual cues that I use to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to dash, or this is what I'm looking for XYZ. And I just thought it's a fun little thing to add in.
Okay, that sounds helpful, actually.
Yeah, looks neat.
Kind of similar to the input display, so that.
Yeah.
Now, I am aware that it can probably get a bit distracting as well, because it is something just additional moving around
Yeah, it wasn't a problem.
during gameplay.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem at all. People were just curious about it. Figured I'd ask.
There's actually a Twitch extension that can allow it to be toggled on or off by viewers, but unfortunately, that'll only work well if I have my full stream, have the game centered on it and taking up the entire space, because it scales to the entire display area.
Yes.
Unless I adjust it, so it's kind of just stuck on if I want to use it for this sort of thing.
I see. Well, are there any final thoughts you guys may have before we wrap up?
Where did X-Ray end up being according to the credits?
I missed that, actually.
Yeah, so did
Did
I.
you catch it, Gunner?
It was in Findrana though, or late mines, based off everything that I had checked.
Okay, I never saw it during the race. So.
I checked most of everywhere except for really deep mines because I didn't have plasma at the time.
Okay, it might have been in late mines then, because I don't know if you went.
And then I also had made the decision to go through labs instead of routing back through the mines because I was hoping to run into X-Ray, and I knew that if I took the elevator from the backside, it would drop me into Chozo, and then I'd be able to go to Magmore and then Talon from there.
Yeah, see, I routed the other way and went through mines because I had everything. I was other than X-Ray, so I just beelined it straight to Prime. But yeah, make sure you follow Caesar.
Overall, I'm pretty happy with how I played the Siege. Just a couple routing decisions which were basically, okay, am I going to play this safe by checking a lot of stuff, or am I going to go in this other direction that could play out well? And I played it safe, which is kind of what I do in general, other than playing at really low health sometimes.
Yeah, overall, the execution was great by both of you.
Thank you. I don't think... well, obviously, I'm pretty happy with how my route turned out. And I got wrecked a little bit with my last couple of checks, but I was in search for plasma mode at that point, so there's just... You gotta take the risk sometimes, so I can't be too upset about those not working out.
Yeah. I also had some trouble in Root Cave because I didn't take any time to warm up beforehand, and I just kept on slipping off of some of the platforms in the dumbest ways.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That probably wasted a minute or two.
Yeah, it happens.
I was pretty happy with the first try UBJ to get up to the Warrior Shrine early.
Oh yeah, I'd never seen that before. That was pretty impressive. I didn't
Yeah,
know
you can do it with this to GBJ, but I find that the UBJ is a little bit more consistent. You know, provided you can actually do UBJs, which takes a good bit of time to get down in the first place.
Yeah, I thought that was only doable in certain places, like against walls, like in Hall of the Elders or something.
No, that's an HBJ.
Okay.
With an HBJ, you lay 5 bombs out evenly spaced. With a UBJ, you do the first 3 evenly spaced. The 4th is also evenly spaced, but then the 5th is just a moment after the 4th. And it gets you not quite as much height as an HBJ against a wall, but it gets you a lot more height than most other bomb jumps, except for like a quote-unquote really good bomb jump, which requires you to lay 2 bombs within 3 frames of each other and then do another series of difficult inputs.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, Prime is a lot of there's a lot to learn about Prime. A lot of tricks, a lot of speedy movement tech. A lot of it takes a lot of practice, and a lot of it's unintuitive.
Oh, for
Until
sure.
you get a feel for it.
For sure.
Like spiderless shafts and any percent to get that down. Some people take like a solid hour to get it their first time, and then to get really good at it, I've probably spent over 20 hours in that room.
Yeah, it's talking hundreds of hours to even get remotely comfortable with that one.
Yeah, in general, like it's taken me months to get good at like a variety of tricks over time.
In my opinion, like the Prime games are definitely some of the most difficult games to get all of the tech down in. Like,
for sure.
Like even Samurai Man, who's a pretty good mechanical player at so many games, considers it the hardest series he's ever speedrun. So.
Yeah, sure. Anyway,
yeah, big props to Gunner for winning the race.
Props to you as well. You're definitely not an easy person to beat. So there's a reason I've been shaking, or I was shaking so much at the end there.
Well, you're also quite good. I might know some more obscure tricks, but those don't matter if they don't play into what the game actually wants us to do.
Yeah, be sure to follow both these runners as well as our trackers. And be sure to tune into our next matches on Thursday. 2 on Thursday, 1 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time between Arrow Razor versus Pyro Paper Planes. And Thursday, another one on Thursday at 8, just like tonight, 2 at the same time. No, wait, I'm tripping. Okay, I'm sorry. The first one was Thursday at 8, Robo Scout versus Takapa. And the other one, also at 8 on Thursday, is Arrow Razor versus Pyro Paper Planes. Excuse me. And then Friday at 2 p.m., Thorus versus Mop of Justice. Channels to be determined, so be sure to keep an eye out for those. But until next time, I've been Op82, and we'll see you next mission. Thanks for watching.
Also, make sure to follow Op. Solo commentating can be exhausting.
Oh yes, solo commentating Prime is not an easy task. He's done it
and Op does a great job at commentating in general.